Hello and welcome. I'm Matthew from Rosie and Rosie, investment property specialist, helping you invest in property with confidence. A quick reflection on the Adelaide property market for the year to date, and a bit of a look at what's on the horizon over the coming weeks and months. So over the month of April, we saw property listings almost double from where they were in March, which was a welcome addition to those currently looking to buy a home. And despite this, auction clearance rates continue to average around 90%, which suggests that there is still plenty of demand in the market. Average house prices have risen 27% in the last 12 months to an average of about $650,000, and rents have increased by a similar amount, with vacancy rates just recently dipping below 1%. And in what we're seeing, in addition to expats returning to SA from overseas and into state, we're now seeing recent home sellers adding to the demand for rental properties. And with the international borders reopened, the return of new arrivals in Australia as well. So that pressure on rents is there to stay for a bit longer. So despite the slowdown in the Sydney and Melbourne markets, which have been reported recently, Adelaide continues to perform quite well. But is that about to change? As you would have heard, the cash rate increased to 0.35%, which was a 0.25% increase on where it was last month, but for quite some time now, and it was the first increase in over 10 years. The big four banks have already announced they're going to pass on that rate increase in full. So if you haven't, if you've got a mortgage and you haven't refinanced recently, now might be a good time to speak to your lender or reach out to your mortgage broker. Now, while an increase of 0.25% to your interest rate might mean adding an extra $65 a month to the average $500,000 mortgage, the people who will actually hurt the most are those who are still looking to get into the market, the aspiring home buyers whose deposits now, their borrowing capacity is now going to drop because of the increased repayments required on a mortgage. So it's going to be harder for them to enter the market, unfortunately, and with inflation on the rise, it's going to be even harder for them to continue saving and continue growing that deposit. So yeah, I fear that with the cash rate expected to increase further over the coming months, that window of opportunity may be closing soon. So with rising inflation, increases to the cash rate, an election later this month, winter to follow, are we at the top of the market? I think we might be. Until we start to see meaningful wage growth, I suspect that we might start to see a slowing of home price growth, which is, I think, where we're at with the Sydney and Melbourne markets at the moment. Now, demand for rentals, on the other hand, continues to be strong. One way of increasing wages and thereby increasing that household income is through increased migration, which would sustain that demand for rental properties. So while the cash rate is on the move, it remains below the historical average, and if rents are stable or continue to increase, property will continue to be a popular investment. And I don't see, although the media might like to make it out like it's going to be a disaster for the property market, I don't see that happening. Now, if you're interested in chatting about your own circumstances, whether you're looking to invest or get into the property market for the first time, please reach out. We'd love to assist. And similarly, if you have a property and you need to speak to a mortgage broker, then do reach out as well. We'd love to put you in touch with some of the guys that we work with and gals that we work with. They also love to help. So that's it for now, though. Thanks for watching. I'm Matthew from Rosie and Rosie, investment property specialists, helping you invest in property with confidence.